everybody, and welcome to Whiskey Daddy Review number 8. And today is a very special review because it is the day of the Carolina Cup, big steeplechase horse race here in Camden. So in honor of that, I've decided that today's bourbon is going to have a horse on it. Smooth Ambler Old Scout Single Barrel. This is their limited one-time-a-year release they do. It's a 9-year-old single barrel offering at cask strength, 54.7% alcohol by volume. Now, originally, I was under the impression that they were actually going to do a single barrel bottling of the whiskey that they actually distill themselves. They're known for their outsourced whiskey, which is the Old Scout 10-year, and they also do like a 7-year, 6-7 year as well. It's a little bit less expensive. Both very, very good. Both outsourced, and they don't lie about it. They put it right on the side of the bottle. Basically, this is, they go and scout out this whiskey, hence the name Old Scout. So, I was under the impression that this was going to be their own distillate, the whiskey that they produce. But then when I started looking at it, I started wondering. I said, it's 9 years old, and I don't think they've been producing that long. I don't know for sure. And their whiskey is wheated. It's a wheated bourbon. The whiskey they outsource has a rye in it. It doesn't. The rye is being replaced by the wheat in their particular whiskey. But when they outsource, it has the rye in it. When I smelled this whiskey, I know for sure that this is a wheated whiskey. So I don't know. But everything on the bottle basically leads me to believe that this has been sourced. So maybe they sourced a really good wheated whiskey. But I will tell you this stuff is absolutely fantastic. It's everything a good Pappy Van Winkle should be. So, let's give you some notes on this one. Now this is, this has been sitting here with my little Glencairn top on it for about 20 minutes. I like to let this whiskey open up on its own without adding a whole lot of water to it, because the mouthfeel on it, the oiliness, the viscosity is so incredible. But by adding too much water, you lose that, and I don't like the experience as much. Now, in most wheated whiskeys, you get a beautiful brown sugar, caramel, and then this doughiness. It's almost like you're like kneading dough, that smell you get from the fresh kneaded dough and the flour. When you first pour it, and before it airs out or before you add water to it, you get a fairly distinct cherry note, like a cherry Coca-Cola note. It's still there, but it's gone down a good bit. It's being replaced more by this kind of a orange peel honey. Lots of brown sugar, and this beautiful, the barrel they use for this one is phenomenal. This is just a beautiful charred barrel background, just a slight hint of glue and rubber band. I know that doesn't sound good, but if you ever drink a cask strength Jack Daniels or Jack Daniels single barrel, you're going to know what I'm talking about. All right, let's take a taste. Brown sugar hits you first in the arrival. It's a big whiskey. Brown sugar hits you first, the first part of the arrival, and then in the development, that's when you start to get some of those fruits in there, like the cherry cola, the orange peel, things like that. And then it does get a little bit spirity towards the latter part of the development, and then into the finish, and then you just get this waft of wood and caramel and just spice, a real light cinnamon spice on the finish, and it's a long finish, and that's where that viscosity comes in. I'm going to add just about 1, 2, 3 drops of water to it just to see how it goes. All right. And immediately it brings out a little bit more of the oak character in it. I'm starting to get some of that peanut note that I get every now and then. The honey and the orange peel kind of disappeared now. I'm not getting as much of the cherry either. It's been replaced more by the brown sugar caramel and a lot of oak. Totally changes the arrival and development on this whiskey. Brings the oak more forward to where as soon as you get the brown sugar and the caramel, the oak kind of rushes up into development. And the finish isn't quite the same. I prefer this whiskey neat, even though it's very, very strong. I think that it's best like it is. Just give it some time in the glass, let it develop. And as a matter of fact, I want to do a little comparison here with their 10-year. I mean, I got to get going because we got to get to the cup. This is their standard 10-year. Straight off the hip. Oh yeah, totally different whiskey. You can definitely smell that this has a rye base in it. I get more of that pickle note in there. A little bit of ginger. Obviously the caramel brown sugar's in there as well. Oh, it's a totally different nose. In the single barrel, I actually pick up a little bit of corn. In the 10-year, I really don't. It arrives totally different. Much more of a spice to it. Pickle, cinnamon. The oak in the barrel is not as big of an influence on this one as it is on the single barrel.
Hell no.
But the single barrel is a very, very, very good whiskey. I recommend that you go out and you get it as soon as you can because it is a limited release and it's not going to be on the shelves very long. It's retailing right now for about $75, $80 depending on where you're getting it. And I hope you're able to find some. Get out there, enjoy it, and hopefully I'll see you up at the cup, guys. Have a good one. Cheers.